Welcome to part 2 of 4 of our vlogs of our summer holidays in 2022. I hope you enjoyed the last one. Well, if you're here, that probably means you did, so thank you for sticking with it. This is going to be from day 5 to day 9, where we go from Swarkestone to Wolseley Arms. Welcome to part 2 of 4 vlogs. I hope you enjoyed the last one. So on this one we will be travelling from Swarkestone to Wolseley Arms. I think it was. We moored on day number 9. So we had some quite epic days on this, so we didn't manage to capture too many videos or pics, but I will put on what I have as usual. So I've got a dinosaur today. Not sure that these used to be in Monopoly sets, did there? Dinosaur. Anyway, so we're going from Swarkestone through Stenson, and we moored, let's have a look, at Willington on this day. So this is day number 5, I believe, that we moored overnight there. And then we carried on all the way up through Burton and all the way through, what's that, Dallow Lock. I think these are, I'm sure these are the ones that are really nice. Sorry about the filthy fingers. I've been sanding and siliconing and all sorts of things and bringing in coal, life of a boater. So then we carried on and we moored. Sorry, I keep putting my finger in the way. So we moored at there, Barton Turns, on the next night. So that was a really nice trip. It's a lovely stretch down here for anyone that's done it. That's my little note on there, look, where the honesty box was, which was lovely. That was just near one of the locks that we went through. Love those. You get some really amazing food in there and absolutely dirt cheap. So then we went all the way, actually it wasn't a long cruise on that day, 7 to 8. We went from Barton Turn, somewhere around here we moored, and then to Alrawash. I think that's how you say it. You know the score with the old pronunciation game. Moored around, this is beautiful around here for anyone who's not moored around here. I think you can have up to 2 weeks or something there, moorings. Lovely little village, nice pubs, nice places to get drinks, little shop. So that was day 8, we moored there. And then we went through all, this was then through Fradley Junction. Amazing. Although one of these, which one was it? Is it Bagnall Lock? Common Lock, I can't remember which one. One of them had a bee, no, not bee's nest, a wasp nest in it. So that was interesting. Luckily I was doing the locks with the lockies. Chris was on the boat. And then we travelled all the way through Fradley. That was a really long day, loads of locks. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was something like 11. And then we carried on all the way past Kings Bromley Marina, where we stayed for a couple of nights. That was on the way back. We went all the way up here and moored, like I said, where is it? Near the, I don't know, day 9. I thought it was, honestly, I really should prepare. So day 9 we moored just outside Rugeley. Again, fabulous. It's, I don't know, it's like old schoolish Rugeley. It's amazing, but you've got all the major supermarkets and stuff here. Absolutely brilliant. And then a wander into town. And then all the way up, oh, there we go. So day 10 we moored at Wolseley Arms because it was an amazing pub, and we went and got a curry as well, which was fantastic. And what else did we do? Oh, we watched footy. Well, a little bit of footy because we're more into motorbike racing. Anyway, there you go. It's official. Nice mooring near pub. What could you want? Here is the Royal Armada, as we call them. doing their thing down the canals. I don't know why they always insist on going right in front of your boat, but maybe they have more right to be there than we do. But it's lovely to watch them on the canal. This was a nice moment on the boat. So we'd moored up just past Wellington, just in the Wellington area, which is really nice. If you cruising up this part of Canal, definitely recommend hanging around Wellington for a few days. Lots of shops and things to do, many pubs. It's a great location for us because a lot of our friends live around here. So it was really nice to pull up and have a few quiet days here and there. I think we stopped here on the way out and the way back. But on this particular day, I was sat, as you can see, writing my books, and a lady walked past who had been to Mercia Marina to look at some boats. So she was asking us what we thought about it. So we were sort of the ideal people to speak to, really, because we'd not long bought ours. So I gave her a little bit of info about how we'd found it and encouraged her to go and buy a boat because it's a great life. There's obviously compromises and lots to learn, but you know, so far so good. We're nearly 9 months in, I think, to living on a boat, and at the moment I don't feel like I'd ever go back to a house. Before we set off for the day, we decided to nip up to Mercia Marina to have a coffee in their lovely cafe there and reminisce about buying the boat and looking at the other boats that were on there. And we also bought some new mooring pins, well, they're the screw-in type, because we've found a few times when other boaters go past too fast because people don't always slow down for whatever reason, whether they're, don't want to slow down or they're too busy daydreaming and they forget to slow down. But we've had our mooring pins pulled out a few times. These are where you tie the boat around the pins to the bank. There isn't any Armco, which is like the metal sheeting that you see at the side of the canal sometimes. So we decided to get some of the screw-in ones that we'd seen some of the other YouTubers have. Brilliant, really, really good. Highly recommend them. We're so glad we bought them. So if you're having trouble with your pins being pulled out, try the screw ones. I can't remember what we paid for them, but it's certainly worth the money so far. We really enjoyed today's cruise. It just went through just some lovely countryside, lovely locks. You'll see in the next picture how idyllic this, well, I'd say cottage house looks next to the canal. Although I always think you'd have to really enjoy the noise of a canal, because although they're very peaceful, of course when you're going through locks you've got all the mechanism going, you've got the sound of the engines on the boaters shouting at each other because they can't hear each other, walkie-talkies. So it's not completely peaceful living, at the side of the canal, but this one looks so beautiful. These geese were very rude on this day. So this is where you would normally moor the boat up so that, well, if you're single-handed, then you'd tie the boat up here so you could go and set the lock so you can take it in there. Or you can drop, if you've got a passenger, first crew, mate, whatever, you can drop them off so they can go and set the lock for you. But look at them, they won't move. So rude, like they're in the canal. Wouldn't even just move slightly so we could get in there. So I had to sort of jump off and go up and sort out the lock. This is Barton Turns Lock, I believe. Just saying I believe, just in case I've got it wrong. Next to this lock is a pub, which is very sort of, what would I call it? It's sort of old school, really, I suppose, but it was really nice and quaint, and we enjoyed a drink in the garden the night before because someone's got to support the local canal communities. Also, next to this lock, you'll see on the next picture is some honesty boxes where we got some food. Absolutely love that on the canals. It's so good. We've got absolute bargains, some great food for our trip. I'm sorry if you hear any background sanding noise or anything like that, but I'm finding it impossible to find anywhere that's actually quiet to be able to voice over these videos, so I apologise for any sound. So on today's cruise, it was quite a short one really, so there isn't any cruising pics because we moored at Rugeley, went for a wander around to stock up at the various supermarkets and shops there, and then we stayed put so I could get some editing done on my books, which is one of the things I do when we're cruising. I've now finished the whole series, which is very exciting. So it was nice just to sit around and enjoy life on the boat. The book I showed in the other picture that I was editing, I finally finished because as you probably know, these videos are from 2022. So in I think was it December, I published the final book in my fantasy series, Battle. So yeah, it's really exciting to get them, and they're available on Amazon. Go buy them now if you like that kind of thing. Today we cruise from Rugeley to Great Haywood, which is the junction for a few different canals. Our plan wasn't to go any further, as not far past Great Haywood, a lot of the canals, well, some of the canals were closed because this was the summer when it was really hot, so there wasn't much water available, so they had to shut a lot of them. But at this point anyway, we had to turn around and come home because we only had a few weeks of cruising. We obviously stopped, moored up and had a little wander up to the amazing farm shop there, and then this happened when we were sat watching TV, I think we're having a lunch before we set off back. It's only Fran and Rich from Floating Our Boat. So last July I helped organise Newark Book Festival, and whilst I was running around checking up, making sure everything was going okay along with the rest of the fabulous team, I was in the town hall and I wandered onto the balcony and came across YouTube royalty. We've watched Fran and Rich right from the beginning, so it was really exciting to finally meet them. Chris had met Fran the night before when she was out walking the dogs, and I'd missed it because I'd been doing stuff for the book festival. So yeah, it was really nice to meet them, and they're absolutely lovely people. And here we are. I gave them a glass of fizz, obviously, complimentary. It was really weird creating this and putting their name on there, because when I met them and I was chatting to them about living on a canal boat, narrowboat, we'd only been on what would that be? Probably about 6 weeks we've been on the boat then, and at that point I never even thought about doing any YouTube videos. So yeah, so very strange to be writing the name of their channel. So that's their website, but obviously you can find them on YouTube, and I highly recommend them. Fabulous people. Look at these locks, aren't they amazing? Absolutely love doing locks. I mean, some of them are really difficult, and even my Yorkshire brute strength and stubbornness is not enough to open them. Sometimes I have to get Chris off the boat to do them, but I much prefer doing the locks and than cruising the boat, although I'm going to try and do a bit more cruising this year, just to try and get my confidence up a little bit on some of the trickier manoeuvres. That's the word I was looking for. One of the better moorings on the network. So we moored just here next to this bridge, and if you just turn right at the top there and wander along, come to a fabulous pub, which we obviously had to pop in and have a little drink, and then we wandered to the takeaway nearby to grab a curry, which we brought back to the boat, which was absolutely fabulous. Highly recommend if you're staying around this area. I think this is the Wolseley Arms area, this bit. And there ends a fabulous day of cruising, all contented after his curry, and then we were treated to a fabulous sunset. Thanks for watching part 2. Part 3 will be done as soon as I get the chance to do it and find some peace and quiet to record. Whilst you're here, you might as well subscribe, because why not? It's free. And I'll see you next time. Although stay tuned whilst I promote another one of my books. It's really good. Honest. This is the book I published after we returned from our fabulous travels to New Zealand in 2019, I think it was, which is absolutely ridiculous. Where has the time gone? Hold on, let me just double check. It definitely was 2019, wasn't it? Yes. So I will read you the blurb on the back of the book. So, join me, a pale, caffeine-addicted Yorkshire lass, and my other half on a 43-day bucket list adventure. A road trip around New Zealand with a stop off in Singapore and Sydney. From the delights of Hobbiton, helicopter rides, dolphin watching, and medical dramas, that's me. You don't say that bit on the blurb. To the terrible tragedies in Christchurch. £100 spending money per day, a real guide to travelling on a budget. So that's the blurb on the back. So like I say, we travelled around New Zealand in a car, which was absolutely fabulous. The only horrific part of the whole trip was the fact that we happened to be just outside of Christchurch when those terrible shootings took place, which was, well, absolutely horrendous and very strange it happened the night before we were staying in, let me just check, was it Rotorua? And the next day we were due to go to, it wasn't Rotorua we were staying in. I'm trying to think where we were. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was just really strange to visit there the next day. All the cordons were up for the streets where these horrific attacks had happened, and there was just the media everywhere, and it was just really weird because New Zealand's such, it's such a quiet place, really, and it was just really, really odd, strange atmosphere. But anyway, the book's all about our journey. As I've said, we visit Hobbiton, which was immense because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan, Hobbit fan, which had a great influence on the fantasy books that I've written. Anyway, if you fancy reading about New Zealand or you're thinking of going, I put lots of little tips and things that really was useful for us for when we went, so hopefully it might help you. And I will try and pop a link in the description if I get the chance. Right, I'm going to shut up now. Bye.